I've never known Dez to not look fresh. Like, she always had a fresher lineup than I did when I found out Dez was cutting hair. I was like, yo, that makes sense. If anyone could do their thing and make the most out of being in the shop, I knew it would be this sister right here.
I told Nelson that, you know, my niche is going to be the queer community. That day I came here, I sat here, and I watched the TV, and everybody had somebody in their chair, and finally Jamel, who sits next to me, was like, "You here for a cut?" And I was like, "I'm here for a job." So he told me to talk to Nelson. Nelson told me to come back with somebody to cut their hair in front of him. So I got a friend of mine to come through, gave him a skin fade. So Nelson looked at it and he was like, "I can tell you this much, you won't mess up too many heads." And he was like, "Can you start next week?" And so that's how I ended up here.
Dez, when she just came here, like, I think we all just felt something about her, because I never hire people like that, where I just say, okay, never. So she's earned her mark.
I was a community organizer at Fierce, which is an organization for queer youth of color. In talking with some of my members, they shared some really horrible stories of experiences at barbershops. I was also looking for a barber. I'm not from New York, and so trying to find a barber who would give me a good cut, but also not be a jerk about it. I had experiences where guys would be like, "Are you getting a lesbian haircut?" They'd ask really invasive questions about my personal life that I didn't hear them asking some of the guys that were in the shop.
Oh my God, I'm so glad I actually got it.
I ended up buying a set of clippers and was just giving myself buzz cuts. And like I said, my members were telling me similar stories that I had. Some were a lot worse. And so I would start offering them free haircuts if they came for trainings or workshops. Eventually I got burnt out from organizing, as many people do. Went to barber school, got my apprentice license, and now I'm here.
I think having really safe spaces for queers that are not just safe, but also welcoming and inviting and saying this space is for you is really important. And that's what you bring to the neighborhood and to people who are just looking for a really amazing haircut.
As queer people and trans folks and gender nonconforming, we shouldn't have to explain why we exist in order to get a service like a haircut.
She definitely has brought in a new diversity here, to the point that it's refreshing. It's a totally new atmosphere with her, and she definitely has brought in a market that we didn't have before.
I wasn't sure how she was gonna do, but she's far beyond any expectations that we had. So I'm very happy to have her here. Except when we debate and stuff, she's always wrong.
Always wrong. I have two older brothers, so I was always around a lot of guys, but in my adult life, not so much. So it's different. The conversations, contrary to popular belief, men are gossipy. I know they try and say women are more gossipy, but guys gossip. It's a different way of gossiping, but they gossip. I knew once they started talking more and more about sex around me, I was like, I'm good to go. They trust me. It's a wrap.
I'm so looking forward to seeing what the next 5 years looks like for her. Right? Because what she's making now is nothing compared to what she'll have then, and I really want to see that growth.